Hello, and welcome to the 2025 Health AI Datathon. Three events, summer school, symposium, and datathon are occurring next week. It's hard to believe that it's 1 week to go for you to be joining us for an exciting week. I thought that I would spend some time walking you through the agenda to make sure that you are prepared. Everything can be found on the website, datathon.org. And that's where you registered and found some information. If you need some inspiration from last year, we shared our videos showcasing who attended and some of the lessons that we learned. So this year, and this is something that we'll be talking about, is that we are undergoing a paradigm shift. And it's important that this is coming at the announcement of GPT-5, where a patient was discussing their experience with the healthcare system and how GPT has been transformative. And so I hope that you're excited to be joining us in this transformative change from narrow models to more larger foundation models. But we shouldn't just accept that it's going to be as is. And if you are looking at some of the early tests there's quite some disappointment about this big leap that was expected with GPT-5. And so we have assembled a great panel of speakers. We at the HITI Lab, myself, Harry, and Janice are looking forward to hosting you. We have, our returning faculty, Minje, Morning, Saptashi, and quite a lot of our own team that has been preparing for talks for you. So please look out for the speakers. Our keynote will be delivered by Dr. Ravi Parikh on AI and policy. So I want to talk about the agenda just to give you a mental model. This year, we're not going to start from scratch. So we've prepared some materials that are going to be distributed to you to look up before you come. And we will be having registration between 2 to 4 p.m. really at the Emory Conference Center for those people who are able to join us early. And then on Monday, we're going to transition to the Guizeta Business School. This was where we ended our summer school last year, and this is going to kick off our summer school between Monday and Wednesday. And so this day will be mainly on data sets. And we know that one of our data sets, and some of you have been using this, is the embed data set, which is the Emory breast imaging data set that only had 2D images. Over the year, we've improved it quite a lot. We've included addendums. We've had a digital tomosynthesis. We've extracted implants and regions of interest and have performed clinical evaluations. That means the labels are much more cleaner. So we'll be discussing that on the first session. We will transition to kicking off Embed version 2, which is our new update to the dataset, has almost 500,000 patients and including multimodal imaging, that is breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and whole slide pathology images. In the afternoon, we'll transition to discussing the Emory chest X-ray dataset, how we've rethought about relabeling, doing automatic segmentations, labeling with other data sets, and sort of the quality control that is necessary for you when you're working with this data set. And then we'll be discussing our knee radiograph data set, which is one of our newest addition to the collection. So day one is mainly data sets. Day two is now going to the meat of this work, which is going to start off with an overview of foundation models. And then we're going to move on to hands-on foundation models. And these are going to have both the ones that have large language models capability, but also looking at the embeddings. And this is very, very important because this is, I think, even a further split in the in this paradigm shift. And throughout the week, you'll see why this is important. Then when you have these features, you can perform classification, regression, and survival prediction. So we'll transition to that. And then we will work on how you can do segmentation tasks using the foundation models. We will then wrap up by this section of foundation models by thinking about adaptation for downstream tasks like classification. And I'm happy to also report in addition to our team, Andrew Selagan, who has been very instrumental with MedGEMA, will be joining us as part of the faculty. We will then transition to a break and then go back to some statistical work. We will look at time series data, where we're looking at waveform data, how to work with that, especially with more different machine learning techniques. One of our main activities is to promote use of some of the data sets from the Common Data Fund. So we'll discuss why this is a useful resource for you. And then Aminje, who delivered a very well-received talk last year, is going to talk about how do you do principles of predictive analytics using the national readmission data sets. I will wrap up by talking about bias and shortcut learning in the error foundation models and multimodal data. And then we will transition to taming for the datathon before we wrap up the summer school. So that's our first event. The second event is the symposium. We will start off with a welcome. The day starts off at 7:30 for breakfast. Then we will transition to Dr. Parikh, who's going to talk about AI policy. I'm very excited about that. And we will have a little bit of a change here. I was going to discuss the HITI Lab EN review. That's going to come back later as Dr. Moning Feng from NUS in Singapore is going to talk about how they're deploying AI, which is a big area of interest, as one of our focus has been evaluations. We'll transition to something new this year, which is a small group discussion to think about some of the limitations of AI research. I think you'll enjoy this segment. If there's a specific paper you'd like to add to the collection, let me know. And then transition to lunch and have a poster session in the afternoon and the datathon setup. So finally, we will end up in the reception. Please make sure you bring your dancing shoes, as I can tell you some people will be returning and they were very, very impressive. So please, I hope that you can join us for that part. It's always a great transition for our second event. Finally, this year, based on request, we will have 3 days of the datathon. They're very, very standardized. So we will talk about some of the data sets and some of the problems and group formation, and then transition to, most important, a group photo. And then we'll move on to teams and, have dinner provided on Friday and Saturday. And then on Sunday, we will have at noon, we will have lunch, but our final, reports will be submitted by noon, and then presentations in the afternoon, and then judging and wrap up. So we are trying to organize a tour of Atlanta. We are maybe thinking of either Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon. So if you have a preference, please let me know and spend the time on the agenda. Most importantly, I'll also be sharing some links to discuss to show you the recordings from the last summer school. So I would suggest that you passively listen to those, because we're not going to be starting from scratch this year. One last request is, if you have a high schooler, bring them for the weekend where we'll have a robotics workshop. It's pretty accessible from scratch on the 23rd and 24th. And this is in preparation for next year when we will have a robotics challenge. So they'll be in the same building, so why not bring them over for the weekend? So thank you. I look forward to hosting you. We are really excited about this year. Last year I thought, wow, we couldn't outdo ourselves, but I can tell you that this year is going to be better. So look forward to hosting you, and please reach out if you have any questions. I'll be also linking a WhatsApp group. That's just informal conversation, people who are looking for, accommodation, sharing with others, and all those good things. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in 1 week.